All right, Nick, let's talk about the Miami Dolphins. This is a team that we've been high on all season long. And, when Tua has been playing, Nick, when they are not without Tua, this team is unstoppable. They've beaten everybody in their path. And that leads us no reason to believe this weekend against the San Francisco 49ers will be any different. The Dolphins are hot, and there's a lot of confidence in that locker room, Nick. And we even have some comments from some of the teammates of Tua Tagovailoa talking about how confident they are in their guy. And I'll let you get into that story here in just a moment. But Dolphins fans, we got to know, tough game, big game. It's probably one of the games of the season coming up against the 49ers this weekend. A big time Dolphins team, highly ranked versus the 49ers, highly ranked number one offense, number one defense potentially, somewhere in that realm. We got to know though, what do you think the final score is going to be? This is a very interesting matchup. So let us know in the comments below what you think the final score of this game will be. But Nick, what do you have on the Dolphins?
Yeah, you brought up a great point. This is the game of the weekend in our minds, right? You have potential Super Bowl matchup, high-flying greatest show on turf against an absolutely stacked 49ers team. This is a 49ers team on offense and defense, head coach. Their talent everywhere. They're experienced everywhere. They're one of the better rosters in all the NFL, and they're getting hot at just the right time. But the Dolphins are not backing down. They're obviously been one of the better teams in the NFL this season. In fact, with Tua playing, to your point, they have been arguably the best team in the NFL. And some of their new playmakers have actually had some strong comments about this game. So according to Tyler Dunn of Go Long, Raheem Mostert and Jeff Wilson Jr. had an interview, and this is what they were quoted as saying about this. Quote, "We have way better talent here. It's going to get spooky." So one of the running backs told Dunn. So that's, again, the Dolphins saying they have more talent than San Francisco 49ers. Huge statement because, like I said, the 49ers have a scary array of talent. But here's the big part here talking about Tua. So this is in the report. It said, Dunn asked Raheem Mostert what makes the Dolphins offense different than the one he was as a part of with the 49ers. Mostert said this, quote, "We have a quarterback who can actually sling it," unquote. All right, so there's been a lot of talk about, all the Tua haters. Tua can't throw deep. Tua doesn't have the ability to make the big time throws. How about Raheem Mostert come out here publicly challenging Jimmy Garoppolo, and frankly, in some ways, challenging Trey Lance as well, saying, "Hey, my guy in Tua is even better. He's got bigger arm talent, better arm talent, can make all the big throws. He's even better than Jimmy G, even better than Trey Lance. We got a guy here in Miami who can sling it, and we're going to take it to San Francisco." What do you think of this team running back's comments here, and just the momentum and the energy in this Miami Dolphins organization right now?
Very interesting, Nick. Very intriguing. The comments make me think a lot about because you got three guys on this Dolphins team. When you think about the coach, head coach Mike McDaniel, you think about Wilson, and you think about Mostert, all guys who were part of the 49ers organization, all guys who have played with Jimmy Garoppolo. So all guys who can make valid statements there. Obviously, the head coach may not come out and talk about Jimmy G like that. But you got two former players coming out and saying stuff, Nick. I think that there's some merit to what they're saying. I think that there's a lot of belief in this Dolphins team. I mean, the proof's in the pudding when we say it's true. This team has not been beaten in a game when Tua started and finished that game. They have been unbeaten in that aspect. And I think there's a lot to say about Tua being an incredible quarterback. You look at Jimmy G versus Tua. Not a lot of debate there right now as far as who the better guy is. And there's three guys on this team that know both the guys. Two guys came out and said it, Nick. And I'm thinking they know what they're talking about when they say stuff like that.
Oh, I agree with you 100%. And look, we've been following the Tua praise inside the Miami Dolphins organization since the offseason, right? Tyreek Hill comes in, he says how great Tua is. And we're like, okay, Tyreek Hill's been a good teammate, he's backing up his guy. But then Tua starts playing well. And I don't know if you listened to the mic'd up with Mike McDaniel a few games ago. He was telling Tua, he was like, "Man, you're playing at an incredibly high level right now, dude. You're being incredible." Right. So you have Mike McDaniel telling Tua, like, "Man, you're doing incredible." You got the running backs here. You got Wilson and Mostert saying, "Hey, listen, we got a guy here in Tua that's better than a quarterback that went to a Super Bowl, better than a quarterback that went to an NFC championship game, better than a quarterback that signed a massive, I think it was like $100 million deal at the time. I don't remember exactly the deal Jimmy G signed. Frankly, he's better than Trey Lance, who's supposed to be a physical phenom talent that right now is hurt for the 49ers. I mean, you're seeing it everywhere coalesce, this praise around Tua and just the confidence he brings in this organization. There's been a lot of, you hear about the two sides of the Tua debate. You either love him or hate him. But right now, anyone who plays with Tua and has any context playing with somebody else has come out and said, Tua is the man. He is as good as anybody in the NFL, if not better. And you got to start listening to these guys because so far they've been right since week one this year.
Yeah, and I think when I dig into it, Nick, you bring up the Tua haters, and it's very interesting to hear. The Tua hater argument to me has two sides. One side are the people who've dug into the stats, they've watched Tua play, they look at what he's able to do, and those are the people who love Tua and are really all in on the Tua train. The other side are the people who just are stuck in the past 2 seasons when Tua was with Flores. They're still looking at that. They don't like to move on from things. They don't like to see what the future has to hold. And those are the kind of people that hate Tua. So, I mean, to me, it's as simple as saying if you take a second to actually watch Tua, and we have watched Tua since this offseason. We did stories about Tua building his arm strength. We did stories about Tua in training camp. We did stories about Tua in the early season, Nick. We did midseason. We've done stories about Tua all along the way. And this growth and progression of Tua has been nothing short of a masterclass in how to build the confidence and raise the play level of a young quarterback. And Mike McDaniel and the Dolphins have done everything I'd say textbook perfect of how to bring a guy from floundering, I guess, or dolphining, however you want to say it,
Oh
beginning of
man,
the
yeah,
career
nice.
with Flores, but to now being a superstar in the NFL, Nick. And that's kind of where I'm at on the Tua debate.
Yeah, and it's one of those things. Look, anyone watching, go check our channel. We're not a Dolphins channel. We like the Dolphins. We like watching the Dolphins because they're good, they're exciting, they do a lot of smart things, right? That's one of the reasons we talk a lot about the Dolphins. But we're talking about Tua and the Dolphins not because we want Tua to succeed, it's because Tua is succeeding, because he's impressive, because he's made the huge strides, because of what this Dolphins organization has done around him. We're big fans of greatness on this show. That's why we're talking about Tua. So any of these Tua haters who just go, oh, you're just piling on the Tua bandwagon. You think he's good. You think for no reason, you're just homers for the Miami Dolphins. That's not the case at all. We watch the games, we do our research, and every piece of information we look at, analytics, box scores, watching the games, whatever you want to look at, shows that Tua has been playing incredibly high level. And the fact that you're seeing more of the comments around the players as I head into a critical potential Super Bowl preview matchup shows just how special this guy is. I'm looking forward to him having a massive game against the 49ers.